Hello my dear students, this is Shilpi Saxena. Welcome to my channel Learning Hub. So agenda of this video is today I will be explaining the difference between recursion and iteration, and of course similarity between recursion and iteration. And next we will cover some programs of using recursion. These programs are textbook exercise questions that is given in Sumita Arora. So I have I have written the very easy program for you all. So we will start with, first of all, difference between recursion and iteration. The very first, the function call itself is known as recursion. Means within the body of function, if a function is calling itself, it becomes recursion. And iteration is when the block of statements, multiple statements or single statement is executed again and again repeatedly, it becomes iteration. Next one is recursion is used for function because it is a function. Obviously it is used for function. And iteration is loop. It can be for loops or it can be while loop also. Next thing is termination. The base case means the condition which is responsible for bringing the control out of recursive function is the base case. So when the base case condition is true, then only it will come out of recursion. But in case of iteration, it keeps on executing the statements till the condition is true. As soon as condition is false, it will come out of the loop. That is, it will come out of iteration. The usage kya hai? Used when the code size need to be small. See, when you will compare the two program, like in my previous video I explained the program of finding whether a number is prime or not. When you compare it with the program in which I used while statement or for statement, so the code size is reduced in case of recursion. But when we are using iteration, the code size is more, and it is recursion is comparatively easy. Then smaller code in recursion, larger code in iteration. Next thing is very high exponential time is needed in recursion and relatively lower time is needed in iteration. Then recursion is obviously complex and iteration is not very complex and it can be easily written. So next comes similarity between both. See, both are based on control structure. Control structure in what sense? See, iteration use repetitive structure, repetition structure, and recursion use selection structure. Selection structure means it is based on, see, we have base class in which there is a condition. So selection means if else structure basically is used in recursion. Both recursion and iteration involves repetition. Repetition means when we are using iteration, the block of statements is executed again and again repeatedly. Similarly, in recursion, it achieves repetition through the repeated method calls. Means it will call the function again and again repeatedly till base case is reached. Now we will move ahead with the sample program. The very first program is, this is the fourth program. 3 programs already I explained in my previous video. So this is the fourth program and first program of this video, that is implement it. We have to implement a function product to multiply two numbers recursively using plus and minus operator only. See how we can do this. Suppose we want to multiply 3 by 4. So 3 into 4 is 12. But they said we can use either plus or minus. These plus and minus operator only we have to use. So you can identify that, you very well know that 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 means when we continuously add 3 4 times, then we will get the desired result. So same technique, the same logic I have used in my program. So I'll open that. This is the program. The program will execute from here x and y. We want to find x multiplied by y. Result whatever the result is, that will be stored in result. This is a function call. I have used the function here. See, this I'm using if b is equal to 1, means this is for repetition. It will repeat, suppose 3 into 4. So 3 will be added 4 times. So to keep that count, I have used this b. So b, when b will come to 1, it will return the value. And here it will make the function call. See, suppose this is a value of a is 3 and b is 4. It will come here. B is 1? No. So what it will return? 3 plus, again a call. Here the value of a will be 3 again. It will not change. And b will be 3. b minus 1, that was 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. Again a function call. B is not 1. It will return a. So again, initially there was 4. Now initially there was 1 3. Now next 3 means 3 plus 3. And again it will return, it will make a function call, that is a will be 3 and b will be 2. In next recursion, a will be 3 and b will be 1. As soon as it will return, it will reach 1, the base case is reached, and it will return 3 last time. That means in fourth recursion it will come to end, means it will add 3 4 times. I'll run this program. Suppose first number is 3, second number is 4, the result is 2. Again I'll run this. Suppose I want to multiply 5 into 9 is 45. You can see the result. Now the next program is little bit complex. It is asking you to print Hailstone sequence. Hailstone sequence, it basically start with a positive number. So positive number, and if that number is even, so next number will be the number divided by 2. Means suppose I have taken input from the user. So suppose I have started from 2. So that 2 is even. So next number will be 2 by 1. That is 1. Next number will be 1. And if the number is odd, in that case the next number will be 3 into n plus 1. Means 3 into 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. Next number will be, because this number which is generated is even, the next number will be 4 by 2. That is 2. Again it is even, so 2 by 2, that is 1. And it will keep on repeating it till the last, whatever number of iteration we have asked, number of element it has asked, till that time it will keep on printing it. See, I have taken an example. Suppose it is starting from 1. So next number, this is odd, so next number will be 3 into 1 plus 1, that is 4. 4 is even number, so next number will be 4 divided by 2, that is 2. This is again even, so 2 divided by 2, that is 1. This is again odd, and it will keep on repeating it. So it should stop as soon as it reaches 1. Otherwise it should keep on executing and infinite loop should be there. So stop, in this case the stop case sequence, to stop the sequence we have to use condition. If number reaches 1, then in that case it should stop the loop. So this is the program. I'll just open it. This is the program. So here I have taken input from the user, and it should start with the number. So I will print the number first. Print n, comma, and is equal to space. So this is the first number. It has to start with the first number which we have entered and go till the recursion results in 1. So we have made a call here, and if n reaches 1, in that case it should return. Otherwise, if it is even, then it should divide the number by 2, means n by 2 should be printed. I have used floor division because it should be integer number. And again function call, means the same number should be sent again, so that we can check whether it is even or odd. If it is odd, means it is not divisible by 2, in that case it should print 3 into n plus 1, and again function call means this number should be sent again. So I'll run this program. Suppose I have used started from 5, so it will first print 5 because it is odd number. So 5 into 3 is 15, 15 plus 1 is 16. It is even, so 16 divided by 2 is odd, was 8, that is again even. 8 divided by 4 is 8 divided by 2 is 4, that is again even. 4 divided by 2 is again 2, that is again even, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now as soon as it will reach 1, it will close, it will stop. In this way this program will be executed. Now the next program is the program to find happy number. It is little bit again complicated. Happy number is a number in which the digit, when square or sum of square of digit is calculated, it should return 1. Means we will keep on calculating the sum of square of number till single digit is returned, and if this single digit is 1, in that case it is a happy number. Suppose for example, if we will enter 28, so square of 2 is 4, square of 8 is 64. 64 plus 4 is 68. Now 68 is a 2-digit number. We have to convert it into 1 digit. Now 68, 6, square of 6 is 36 and square of 8 is 64. It makes, when we add it, it will make 100. Now again 3-digit number, we have to convert it into 1-digit number. So square of 1 is 1, square of 0 is 0, square of 0 is 0. When all together we will add, it will result in 1, means single digit, and if it will return in 1, it is a happy number. So this program can be written like this. So the program execution will start from the main part, that is n is equal to int, input enter a number, we have to check the number. This is the, there is a function call sum of digit. So we have made a function call, the control will go to this recursive function. In this function itself I have defined one more function to calculate the sum of digit, because we don't know how many times we have to use recursion, so that the sum of digits should be reduced to only one single digit number. So when it will call this function, in that case the program execution will start from here, x is equal to calculate sum, this again a function call. So this will call this function. If suppose n is reduced, we have to reduce it. If n is equal to 0, so it will return 0. Otherwise what it is going to do, mod of n means we have to extract one digit, one last digit. So last digit will be, suppose I have entered 28, so this will result in 8 into 2, that is 64. 64 plus again a recursive function call, and what it is sending, that quotient, and mod 10, it will return the quotient. So what will be returned? 2. So n will become 2. Now n is still not 0, so n mod 10, that is 2, square of 2 is 4, plus n floor division 10, that is 0. Again it will check, it is 0, yes, it will return 0. Now this is the base case. So finally what will be returned? 64 plus 4, that is 68. It will return here 68. So value of x will be 68. So it will check whether the length of, we will convert it into string, whether it is a single digit number. No, it is a 2-digit number. So it will come here, and again a function call is made. So when the function call is made, so again this will call the function calculate sum again, and now same process will be repeated again and again till it will return a single digit number. When it will return the single digit number, that means the number returned, length of that number returned is 1. in that case it will call this function. This is non-recursive function, and if the value of x is 1, it will return it is a happy number. Otherwise it will return it is not a happy number. So I'll run this program. You can see 28 if I am writing, it is a happy number. So again one more example, 31, it is also a happy number. So function f5, obviously 32 will not, it is also a happy number. Function f5. Again I'll run. Suppose 25, it is not a happy number because 2 ka square is 4, 5 ka square is 25, 25 plus 4 is 29. Again 2 ka square 4, 9 ka square 81, 81 plus 4 is 85 again. So at the last we are not getting result 1. That is why it is not a happy number. Again I'll run one more example. Function f5, suppose 121, it is not a happy number. In this way this will work. So I hope you understood the 3 programs I've written in very easy way. You will not get the solution in such a easy way. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, don't forget to share. Thank you and have a nice day.